This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we are bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir. How you doing? How you doing? Happy Boxing Day. It was a 2-2 draw at the King Power Stadium. Oof. United probably had the win in their hands, gave it up with some shoddy defending.
Probably.
A lot of goals that should have been in. Marcus Rashford, MBE, could have had a hat trick today. Feels like the United side that we've gotten used to, is like rude chances, some bad defending, drop points.
We dropped 2 points. 2 points lost there for Manchester United. We had the chances, like you said, horrid defending. And when you go ahead, you get that Bruno goal, the tip of the cap. Merry Christmas. Manchester United announcing their challenge for the 21st title against the team who shall not be named on this podcast. And to look as terrible as we did right after that, sir, you said it on the couch. They're going to score. We looked all over the board. Midfield can't pick a pass. Defense looks in shambles. Somebody, the captain, Harry Maguire, needs to step up, needs to assure the defense, needs to calm people down. And it's like we can't get a hold of the game at that point. You ain't going to compete for the title. It's unfortunate. This team is good, sir. Better than we thought. And we're playing well. You got to be happy with the draw at Leicester City. But to play like that and get that result when we should have definitely got to win. I mean, Marcus hits any of those chances. The header that's open, 1v1 versus Schmeichel. I mean, it's got to go in. You got to win. It should have been 4-0.
Yeah, but you know what? You get those 2 goals. You said it earlier, is the defending. You cannot concede both those goals. United, it was a scrappy, tough match. Leicester kind of grew into it once they knew that United was going to leave it open. I think once we missed that early chance, Leicester started to get some belief. But it is a draw. It's a draw against a good side. We didn't draw West Brom. But the point is, you're right. It's like everybody's excited. I think we're competing for a title. Probably don't want to get ahead of ourselves too quickly, sir, because this team has a lot of growth to still go through.
You win that game, you are literally in the race.
We're still in the race.
You landed on the moon. You stuck that red, white, and blue flag, and we are contending for the title. We are like doing 21. It's us versus the club who should not be named. It's exactly what we want to see. We've been waiting 8 years for this. We need it as fans, and we had it within our grasp, and this team couldn't do it, and that's part of the issue with Manchester United at the moment. We talk about that Ferrari, the inconsistency, and we just don't have all the pieces figured out. We're hitting 6 against Leeds, still leaking. Now the defense was playing well early in the season. Now we're not looking so good, and we can't figure it all out at once, and it is hard. There's a lot of fixtures, sir. There is positives to take away from here, but as a fan and getting up at 4:30 a.m. after Christmas, seeing that, it's just tough because you just want us to just go on and win. Nobody
cares how early you woke up. But I agree. It's just our expectations are very high. But at the end of the day, this team is making progress, and there's still a lot of games left to be played. No one's winning the title in December. You don't win the title on Boxing Day, and we're a lot closer to the top than a lot of people probably thought United would be, ourselves included, on Boxing Day, the day when we do start looking at the table, sir. So I agree with you. You would want it to go into the position on the 17th when we play the Scouse Bastards in their place and just be either at level with them or within the place where you can actually go ahead of them with a win. There's still a lot of games left. I think you get through the holiday fixtures and see where we're at. We're in a good position. You can't be too hard on this team. I mean, I think this team was playing up to their ability, we would have rolled them. But that's the way this game goes.
No, exactly. And I think the frustration is not that wasn't a great Leicester side. Like that midfield, the work rate Leicester had, when they came out, they looked like they were bossing it. Then we made changes. We grew into the game. We didn't look like we were going to get that winning goal. We got it, thought it was the winning goal. And then it's just the shy. It's just like the order of operations was tough. And to play as well as we did and not come away with 3 points is what's tough, because this team has the potential to win the title. And will they? You know, I'm going to say TBD on that one. But if you don't take your chances and you defend like that, then the answer is definitely no. And today, it didn't cost us. We still got a point, and there's things to take away from it. But it's to do it that way and to be let down. It's a little salty, sir. Just a little extra salt for me this morning.
Well, it's also the early wake-up time. It's the post-holiday blues. But
we're due for that breakthrough win to stake the claim, to play always at the wheel. Everyone's dying for that, sir. We watch all these games, the ups and downs, crashing out of Champions League, coming back, playing this way. And it's like, come on, we got to be taking that next step. And it's like that Ferrari, sir. Right when we think we're going to get into that fourth gear, back to third, we're hitting that clutch.
Yeah, I mean, but sir, we didn't lose 4-0. I mean, we drew against a tough side. Obviously, we had our chances, the better side for the day, and you move on from here. There's a shit ton of fixtures.
No, it's true. It's true.
And you can't rest in your laurels oh God, we could have picked up those other 2 points. There are going to be a lot of games. We got to look forward to. Wolves is on Tuesday. Today's Saturday.
Sir, this is it's
right around the corner, sir.
Sir, Festivus. This is the airing of the grievances.
Get it out, sir.
Sir, I'm airing the grievances. We'll talk about the match, and then it'll be on to the next one, sir.
Between now and the preview for Wolves, you just got to let everybody know what you really thought about this match.
No, but Ole got it right. Ole got the changes right. He came out one way, switched it up. We looked good, and then it's really that the last goal that just kills you. The Vardy, the own goal off Twanzebe, the slop, Bailly out of position. There's no excuse for that. And if you want to win the title, you got to be switched on for 90, and we're finding trouble with that. Sir, quick PSA for the podcast. We can moan all goddamn day. And boy, there's a lot more time in the day because it's only 7:45 here. If you would like to support this podcast, you can support us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/AmericanRedDevils. Me and Alex, we do everything here behind the scenes. And if you want to support the podcast, we believe the best way for you to do that is via Patreon. Our goal is to be supported directly by you, the fans. That way we don't have to hawk any sponsors. There are no private sponsorships on this podcast. We want to keep it ad-free for you, the fans, because this is where we share our biased take. And this also supports the website, www.americanreddevils.com, where we have a lot of fan-generated content. So we want to build this platform, support directly by you. If you'd like to do it, you can visit our Patreon page. There's 4 tiers. You can sign up for anything from $1 a month to $20. We give away pins, stickers, scarves. And big shout out to Mark, our new Trafford end supporter out in the UK. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Check us out on Patreon, sir. Another great way to support the pod. Keep the lights on here. It's freezing in the bunker. We're in the garage. We got no heat. I got double jackets, so I got winter hat on. Buy a piece of merch. We got scarves. We got stickers. We got pins. We have shirts. Grab one that goes directly to support us. It goes a long way, keeping the lights on, sir. And also, the amazing blog. Tell them about that.
The blog, americanreddevils.com. Check it out. We have fan-contributed content from all over the globe covering the first team, the U23s, the women. So if you're also interested in contributing for the blog, reach out to us at americanreddevils.com. americanreddevils@gmail.com, and we'll figure something out. Another great way to support the pod is you can write an iTunes review. Ideally 5 stars, even better if it's a little bit cheeky. It goes a long way. And if you send it in to our Gmail, we will hook you up with some stickers as well. Sir, what else do we miss?
No, that's it. And iTunes is a big one because that's the number one way people find us is on iTunes. And the reviews are hysterical. Alex and I read them all. We love it's a good uplift the mood after a tough draw early in the morning here. Let's get into it. Leicester City 2, Manchester United 2 at the King Power Stadium. It was Boxing Day, sir. A little bit about Boxing Day for those in the United States who don't know about it. I thought it was actually just a day where people boxed in the UK out in the streets. You know, they had a few dark ales for Christmas. They got a ham bone. The next morning, everyone just sweating out the hangover, boxing in the street. It turns out that's not the case. Boxing Day is a holiday celebrated the day after Christmas, and it originated as a holiday to give gifts to the poor. Today, Boxing Day is known as a shopping holiday in the UK. And the Oxford English Dictionary gave the earliest definition from the UK on Boxing Day and what it was in the 1830s, defining it as the first weekday after Christmas, observed as a holiday on which postmen, errand boys, and servants of various kinds expected to receive a Christmas box. So as I understand it, it's literally all the people who, back in the day in the UK, hoity-toity 1830s, everyone who was working on Christmas, they got presents on Boxing Day. And that's when they celebrated it, and that's why, the football. Sorry, it was a workman's sport in the UK, and that's why we play on Boxing Day. celebrated around the UK, and obviously we celebrated here because Manchester United plays every Boxing Day, and we usually win. We usually win, but that's good to know the history as well. And we usually win on Boxing Day, especially, and should have been a win today, shouldn't have? So we're getting that lineup. All right, we have Dave saves world number 1 in net. We had Luke Shaw left back, Maguire by center back pairing, Lindelof at right back, Fred McTominay midfield. I think everyone picked that one. Rashford on the left, Bruno in the hole, Dan James on the right, Martial at number 9. Sir, you heard me. That right hand side, we got Dan James and Lindelof. What is going on with this lineup?
I mean, sir, I saw it at like 4:15 in the morning, so I was a little delirious. But it was one of those lineups where you think if it comes off, brilliant Ole. But, the whole idea, like, don't we have a right back who can play? Don't we have, like, Brandon Williams or maybe Fosu Mensah? I just think the idea of having an over-reliance on Lindelof, now you're putting him out on the right back position, I don't know. It doesn't feel natural, so it didn't make sense to me, especially if you're going to do it. Twanzebe did a job at it a couple of days ago.
But again, I think he's thinking of rest, right? And you saw the rotation, right? You got Pogba, you got Cavani on the bench, Twanzebe on the bench, obviously. So for me, it says, hey, we're going to play really defensive or try to hit him on the break. Dan James, that says counterattack all day. Lindelof says, I'm going to shore up the defense. They got a lot of threats. So I actually didn't think this was terrible, but when the game started, the midfield, we were just getting overrun, and this was clear from minute 1. So let's jump in. Second minute, we're going to talk about it. Back and forth start from both teams. There's a lot of intensity given the last time we played. We beat Leicester City. Evans with the red card. Lingard iced the game, sir. We went into the top 4. We celebrated big time for that one. This chance for Rashford in the second minute. Bruno with a perfect ball. Unmarked. Far post. Second minute. Open header. Got to score. This is 100% got to score. Absolutely have to score if you're getting paid money to be a striker for Manchester United.
No, it's not even that. It's just that what a ball from Bruno. I mean, that's like his marquee. He's got so many marquee moves. That's just like that back post curler, perfect ball. Doesn't even it feels effortless. So I just want to shout out to Bruno.
Sir, you can score that. Sir, you can literally score that.
I would bust my ACL just jumping, sir. But anyway, the point is that Marcus got to be scoring that goal. It's an open header. You just get the ball down and you're scoring. And it's a big moment to set an intent early, just like you did with Leeds, right? You take that moment and it sticks a dagger into your opposition's heart. And not doing that, it's a hard team to get good chances with. You knew you were going to rue that. You knew it.
But how many times have we come on this pod and talked about ruining our chances early in the first half? How many times, sir? I mean, it's this is just becoming a theme. Look, I said it to you. There's a lot of players on the team who we will not name on this podcast. They'll dunk that in the net. Dunk it. Absolutely dunk it automatic, sir. This has to be a goal. This sets the tone. And it was a tough one.
Well, you got another chance. You have to be fair. Mr. Marcus did get a moment in the 23rd minute.
I'm just salty because
I know you're salty but he's sorry. He got a goal.
You can't watch that. You cannot. I love. Who doesn't love Marcus Rashford? We talked about his finishing on the pod before, and that second minute goal. I think this game. I don't think you lose the game. I don't think you draw the game. You score that one. All right, 23rd minute.
Fernandes and Rashford scores with characteristic certainty. A breakthrough moment, a moment of personal atonement. Kasper Schmeichel helplessly exposed, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer uplifted.
Well, I think an awful lot is determined here by the touch from Bruno Fernandes. Now, I'm not sure whether he means this, whether he's actually trying to get it under control, but that little contact was absolutely perfect to steer it through for Marcus Rashford, and this time he's not going to miss. His manager was a little upset with the header that went over the crossbar. This time it's clinical.
I mean, look, we talked about his finishing. Great finish from Marcus Rashford and a great toe tap from Bruno Fernandes, just tapping in.
I love it. Did he mean to do it? Of course he meant to do it. It's Bruno Fernandes. He means to do everything that comes off. He's always trying, right? So he's the ball's probably going away anyway, and just puts the toe in to see if he makes something of it. Good for Marcus. He almost just blasted it rightward, but coolly done. Even then, sir, we had the goal. We looked a little unsettled. The boys were scratchy. It was just like every time we went on the counter, we made the wrong pass. Boys would like dribble it instead of passing it. It was scratchy.
Well, we talked about it. I think I tweeted it out in the 15th minute that the midfield was clearly, you said we can't connect to midfield and attack. We're overloaded in the midfield. I thought taking James out, bringing Pogba on, getting more of a diamond would benefit us. Obviously, Ole would wait for the 60th minute, but that was the dynamic here. Mourinho famously said, first 15 minutes, you know how the game's going to go. And Leicester, they had the best of us in the middle of the park. They had the ball, but they couldn't create the chances. That's the difference between us and Leicester City, right? We talk about going forward, who's going to create the best opportunities. Unfortunately for us, sir, we didn't have that lead for much long. 31st minute.
James Justin. Brighton. Again early by Albrighton. Up by Maguire.
Yeah, but hurried once more by Shaw.
Maddison, Barnes. Harvey Barnes, good hit, good goal. That is a belter from Barnes.
There's so much that you could discuss in that one. If you watch the Harvey Barnes goal, it's the Maguire with the sloppy clearance in, Shaw out to lunch.
Bruno.
Right?
Bruno gives
so
the
then
ball away.
Bruno gives the ball away, and then Bailly doesn't close him down.
Nor does McTominay.
There is 5 or 6 errors in a row that lead directly to this goal, and then you score this goal, you got to say we need a clean sheet. The goal for United has to be clean sheets. I mean, too many errors, individual errors, and sir, someone just got to figure this out at the back for United, because a team like Leicester is going to punish you. And
it's a self-inflicted wound, right? It's like Bruno, he tries the risky stuff, which is fine, but if you're right in front of our box, you can't do that. You got to at least like huff it up the field, because you give it away to a team that good. Obviously, Barnes still had a lot to do. Great finish from him, but that's the kind of thing you can't do. The best teams, they don't like gift their opposition great chances.
No, not at all. 38th minute, great chance from Bruno in the air from a header. He can't get the ball down. I mean, this one was a little more difficult than Rashford's just slam dunk header. Either way, we had our chances. Ending the first half, I really thought we needed Pogba to come on, get Dan James off the pitch. He wasn't doing much on the right-hand side, and obviously Lindelof was struggling with Barnes as well. I think you just needed to win the midfield battle and then just let your quality up front do the rest.
No, totally. Because there's so much quality in this team. It was just the type of players that we usually see that can string together some nice, tidy passing. We didn't look completely coherent. We didn't look completely settled. Maybe it was just the way Leicester were throwing players together in the midfield. And that's where like that sub, bringing Pogba on, having his ability to hold onto the ball, it made a big difference, I think, once he came on.
Dude, and credit to Leicester City. They played really hard. The work rate in the middle of the park, winning every ball was contested. It's almost like we looked a little haggard, just a little behind it. Like you said, a lot of errant passes going forward from Fred, a lot of rush. Like this team rushes a little bit when they need to say, hey, we got to calm down. We need to hold the ball, kind of figure out where Leicester's vulnerable, get into their half. I think there's a little bit of composure in the middle of the park where, yeah, we're trying to counter, but if you try that too much, it's almost you're gonna invite Leicester to kind of press you and attack you, and that's what happened. Coming out second half, United aren't playing that comfortably. Continued, like same thing from the first half. Comes out, Leicester has the ball, or crisp. They're working it around. 52nd minute, Bailly gives away a really lazy free kick. Fred kind of chipping it back to the keeper. Bailly's pointing to Fred to put it somewhere else. Hits Bailly's arm. This was dangerous from James Maddison. Again, this sums up United today. Bailly saying, Fred, go wide. Fred just kicks it off his arm and gives Leicester a great opportunity.
I mean, you hate to say it, but you almost, because of this move, which was like a very kind of, you have to say he was thoughtless in the moment, right? It was kind of checked out, and it was the same the goal. I'm going to give it to Bailly because he's so key there. He's you're ball watching the most dangerous player they have, which is Salty Vardy, likes to score goals. It almost was like a foreshadowing of what's to come, right? Bailly looked a little checked out.
Yeah, and look, Ole ended up. Yeah, but I mean, if Lindelof doesn't go down, does he bring in Tuanzebe and take out Bailly and put Lindelof back with Maguire? Does that prevent, there's a million things, sir. We can play all day in our heads. 55th minute sub, Pogba for James. Love it. This is the sub we needed. It changes the game. Ole saw it. He knew it had to be done, and he changed it right away. I thought this was almost halftime. For some reason, Ole doesn't like that. 59th minute, He does halftime unless we're down 2. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It was tied.
59th minute, Rashford through on goal. Just kicks it just for pace right at Schmeichel, going inside outside. If you know what you're doing in that situation, you're not hitting it like that. Jamie Vardy's not hitting it like that. He just puts his head down and just puts his laces through it, which in that situation should work. Was Schmeichel making himself big? It didn't. I mean, credit. I don't think that's much of a save. Schmeichel made himself big. He's got nothing there. It has to be a goal. To me, this is the one where Rashford, these are the ones, he had another opportunity like this against Everton.
Yeah, I know. But you get the goal in the first half, right? That makes amends for the early miss. This one's a tough one. Obviously, the goal, he made a save, right? The last one wasn't even on target. But yeah, you'd like to see him do better. He always goes for power. I mean, that's the problem with Marcus. He's all power. And I think even when Ole came aboard, he was talking about the things that Marcus needed to work on in his game. And this was one of them. It was like sometimes he needs to just pass it into the net. And you pass it into the net. I think you pass it around Schmeichel near post. You know, that's a goal.
No, absolutely. And so, here we're just like, and with United, that our defense is leaky. So you need a few goals, sir. It would be tough to score only one. And this, I think, was a huge opportunity. You can't go understand that Rashford could have had a hat trick, probably should have had a hattie. 61st minute, Martial scored, was offside, finished well. 66th, the sub, Tuanzebe for Lindelof. Now Lindelof's injured, sir. We're going to be talking about that defense a lot more, but look, Tuanzebe looks a player. It looks like he's playing well, so that is a benefit there. 70th minute, I tweeted out, Harry Maguire's due. He's due for a header goal. He hasn't gotten one since was the first game after that whole Greece scandal. Free header from the corner. Blasted over. Same thing. Again, look, you can't blame Harry Maguire for not heading this in. It's not quite the dunk that Rashford had here. But again, good chances from United. 74th, bring him on. Where's the Matador? He's got the magic at the moment.
No, and he's, I think you can tell Bruno is the heart of this team. He's bringing intensity. He was on a yellow, almost got sent off for a foul against Johnny Evans. You need someone to kind of match his intensity and kind of bring, because Harry is a little bit too much of a quiet leader sometimes. I wanted him more vocal today, but Cavani kind of matches the intensity of Bruno. So that was good to have him on.
Sir, 79th minute.
Last 12 minutes. Tuanzebe, Cavani, Fernandes, beautifully done. Really beautifully done. Immaculate in its conception, immaculate in its execution, and Manchester United have their lead back.
Bruno Fernandes, tip of the cap. Love the celebration. Sir, I thought there was no way. I mean, you celebrate this goal, you're absolutely ecstatic, sir. I don't even know what time it is, 6 a.m. here. And then you sit down on the couch and you just look at this team. You look at them react to this goal, and you think Leicester would be dead. You think United would have the ball. They'd be snapping it around, complete control of the match, just going to make sure to let Leicester know they're going to lose. And instead, it's the other way around. Leicester look like they're on the front foot. We're just like, scratchy passing all day. It was tough. It was tough.
I mean, the game should have been done and dusted by this moment, right? Like they had a chance or two, but even that goal they score, we'll get into in a second, should never happen. There's like 3 defenders around Vardy. They're all watching. It's mainly Bailly. And that just, you can't have that. That was that goal that Bruno scored is like the winner that this game deserved. And instead they get this shit equalizer and everybody has like acid in their mouth, and it's a bad taste. And you know what? Hopefully that's what the players are feeling too.
Well, there was something that happened right before this attack from Leicester City. I believe it was, we had the ball up top, we lost the ball, and everyone pressed. And then everyone up front presses hard. No one got the ball. McTominay went to press, and then Fred's like the last midfielder back, and then he went all in and missed it. And then Leicester had a great opportunity. And when you're playing that loose with a 1-goal lead against a second-place team, you're going to leak a goal. And it's that type of attitude where Fred has to know if you're the last midfielder, you got to get that ball or you don't go. I mean, because if you miss, they're going to create a good scoring chance. And I think that is the type of composure that we lack. Look, we've learned a lot of things this year, But the one thing we haven't learned so much is how to kill a 1-goal lead against a real dangerous team. Like, can you kill a 1-goal lead against Liverpool with all that firepower? Because they're going to create many more chances, and I think you need to. You want to win the title, sir. But let's get into this 85th minute goal.
Perez turning away from Pogba. Squeezed out wide for James Justin. Perez again. And 40! To each! He's had his bite! And it only takes one bite from Jamie Vardy. And once more, with barely 5 minutes left to play, we are back where we started.
Well, I think the ball in is absolutely exquisite from Perez. And that will certainly please Brendan Rodgers, because just watch this when it comes back to the Spaniard. The way he drills it, that's absolutely superb to find Vardy. And of course then there's a deflection, which just helps it on its way into the back of the...
Look, you could say the same thing. You could say there's quite a few errors here. Shaw out of position, Maguire out of position, by ball watching, and then an own goal by Tuanzebe. Clearly, the most cruel thing to say is Tuanzebe's at fault there. Bai's ball side, he's got Vardy right next to him. Got to mark him. You got to be in there. Maguire should block that cross. He knows Shaw's out of position. He knows the ball's coming in, and somehow he goes farther to the touchline. Just that sums it up at the back. Leicester 2, Manchester United 2. Obviously, we have a lot to say here on this pod. Chances, we rued those chances, sir. We defended very poorly. A lot of individual mistakes. And you're frustrated because when you can taste that title race, when you can taste always at the wheel, and you just can't get it, sir. It just that sums it up. You're like, I want a title. I need a title. I need a title.
Title's not going to be one.
Sir.
It's not going to be one in this calendar year, sir. He's got a lot of games left, brick by brick. It's a point. It sucks. It's like, it feels like a defeat, but that's a good thing. That means that the standards are rising, and like people expect more out of this team. And the team that's in second in the league, we should have had their number today. We didn't, and everyone is pissed off. That is good. That's what I want in my club. I want everyone just pissed off because we dropped points. And on to the next one.
Sir,
Wolves, it's a huge match.
There's never been a better time to draw Leicester City like that than now. You want to say it that if we win the title, or we go deep, or something happens and we get silverware, there's never a better time to draw points than away at Leicester City with no fans, sir, because there's a lot to play for. And I think the only reason why me and some other friends are frustrated, other than the early wake-up call post-Christmas, is the fact, without a doubt, this should have been 3 points. Without a doubt. And it's just tough to come that close and no cigar.
We also, as Manchester United fans, A, we have high standards, and B, we know how important those 3 points would have been. It sets a tone that
it's like
United
people are scared
around.
Yeah, people are scared. United are back. There's like a little bit of that feel, and then always at the.
If United were sharp today, they would have rolled Leicester. This wouldn't have been like the
4-0.
last game. No, it would have been 4-0. Like the game, you get the second minute goal. You turn the screw, and it's not.
But they can. They can
close.
do it.
They're
They can
close,
do
sir.
it. And let's look, sir. Airing Festivus for the rest of us.
Let's get it out.
I already aired all the grievances. You heard them all. But you say, what are the positives? Cavani's a player.
Yep.
Sir, I'm not going to talk about your take on Cavani.
I love him.
Absolutely love Cavani.
Bruno.
Can't. Sir, just like, let's get focused on the defense. We got to focus on the defense. I like, obviously, big injuries now. Now we're talking about injury concerns. AWB, Lindelof. Oof. So it's going to be really interesting when you talk about defending going forward for Manchester United. That's probably going to be the focal point. It hasn't been for the last 2 months. And then now it's going to be, how is Ole going to cobble it together during a lot of fixtures, and January is going to be coming thick and fast. Sir, pod never sleeps.
Sir, it's like the holidays are going to just keep rolling through the new year. It's like, I don't know if you looked at the January, February schedule. It's not much different than the cadence we're on right now. Like,
so Rashford should be like the leading scorer in the league. You know, like you talk about, like, we haven't even started scoring.
Greenwood hasn't even gotten off yet. Martial's barely started scoring.
Like, we haven't even played our best, and we're doing this well. That's what's kind of crazy, is that United haven't even shown the best side of us yet, and we're playing great. And it's like, obviously, Leeds was a ton of great vibes, but they're a poor Leeds side. The Leicester, when you show up and you should beat them, and you draw, I mean, look, we're showing signs, and if we draw Leicester and we beat who, then all's well, sir. All is very well.
I mean, we're gonna know a lot about where we stand in the world on that after that day, even running into that day.
It's just January 17th. Mark your calendar, sir.
Sir, team will not be named.
Sir, have a dark ale for that one. Match reactions, little stats here. Leicester 55% to our 45%. Shots 10-9. Shots on target 4-2. Leicester had 5 corners. We had 0. But again, all the chances went to us. I think it was ours to win. Little match reaction. Edison Cavani now has been directly involved in 5 Premier League goals as a substitute this season. 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 more than any other player. I mean, absolutely love Cavani at this point. Since his debut, no other player has scored more Premier League away goals than Bruno Fernandes, 11. And no player has delivered more Premier League assists, 6.
Legend.
Manchester United have scored multiple goals in a Premier League record, 11 consecutive away fixtures. The most recent team to net multiple goals in 11-plus successive top-flight away matches were Manchester United themselves, which was 13 in 1958-1959 season. And Bruno Fernandes breaks the Frank Lampard record in the Premier League of most goal contributions by a midfielder in a calendar year, 30. And Frank Lampard had 29. So you want to say, what else could you say about Bruno Fernandes?
And the only thing he needs is a title. I mean, like, if he can keep this form going and everyone can start matching the level that Bruno's been putting in, week out, that's what you need. You need other people to step up. And today, he left everything out there on the field. Certainly wasn't the best Bruno Fernandes performance we've ever seen, and he still gets a goal.
And an assist. And that's what's insane. People, you
should have had another assist. Should have had a second assist, right?
You could totally say Bruno didn't play well, and he had a goal and an assist.
It's amazing.
And that's how good Bruno Fernandes is. And, like, honestly, you want to talk about, he's a tier of footballer that we haven't seen at Manchester United since probably, CR7 departed for Real Madrid, or Robin Van Persie. You could say, Wayne Rooney, I would argue.
Zlatan, maybe?
Old Zlatan, though. And then you get the old Rooney. He had a season, but he's in his prime.
No,
he's like, it goes like Ronaldo, Messi, and then you could talk about like Modric, Bruno. He's in that tier, sir. He's like getting up there. At least how long can this run? If he does this run for another year, he'll be up there in the Ballon d'Or voting, or like you like to famously call it, the balloon.
Yeah, the Ballon d'Or. It's like the goal contribution he's had. I think he had a quote this week is, I want to score more goals and assists than at least one more than per game. So he wants an elite output. He's an elite player, and if he keeps contributing like the way he has, you got to keep up.
What do we know? Let's check in with Ole.
You can't think that before the game's over and the whistle's blown. So, of course, disappointed that we don't win tonight, because this afternoon. Loads of big chances, and we could have finished it off. But then again, they're a very dangerous side, quality side. And the goal from Vardy just shows the quality, his quality.
Bruno is involved in everything, as he almost always is.
Always is.
Delivered the goal.
Yeah, good goal, good pass by Edinson, good timing. We just had a similar type of chance before, Anthony's chance. So it's you can't celebrate. You just don't know if it's a goal or offside. But well timed, good finish.
Yeah, it was the pattern throughout the entire game. Go back to the first half. Marcus Rashford missed an absolute sitter early on, but kept his composure to score the second.
Very good goal that he scored, and of course he knows that his first chance is a glorious one. It's a big one. And it seems like he's finished his header before the ball came, and he hit it on top of his head. So just one of those things.
And their goal, do you think it should have been closed down quicker, Harvey Barnes?
Both goals should have been closed down quicker. First one, definitely. Second one as well, down the side there. We should manage to stop the cross. So you always look at the goals conceded that we should have done better.
It's a busy time of year. The whole year's been busy, but especially busy at the moment. What does this do to the top of the table? What does it do to your momentum right now?
Well, of course, we got a game in 3 days. We got an extra recovery day, which we will use wisely. And 1 point is not the worst result, but we're disappointed that we didn't get away with 3 here, because it's a very good side we're playing against.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, sir, what do you make of the manager's comments?
He always shoots it like it is. Disappointed, knows they're up against a good side. You can see it in his face. He knows this game was there to be won. United were the better side. Should have won it. It's just that we didn't play a consistent 90 minutes like we needed to deliver all 3 points. And instead, you ruin those chances. But you're on to the next one. He's right. 3 days from now, we got another game against a really good side. Wolves.
Sir, it is not only Boxing Day, it is table day here at the American Red Devils. We have put off looking at the table for a long time. I think Alex might have cheated on that sort of blood pact that we had here on the podcast. So they showed the live table. I tried to squint my eyes and cover it so I couldn't see it. We're looking at the team who should not be named here on the podcast. 31 points, sir. They've played 14 matches. Leicester City, 15 matches, 28. Manchester United, 14 matches, 27 points. Then you have Everton at 26, Chelsea 25, Tottenham 25, Southampton 24, and then Shitty at 23. So you're starting to see that real tight pack there. 26 to 24 separates fourth from seventh. United with a little breathing room at 27. We're right ahead of that pack, but we got the game in hand. So you hope that it will be scheduled February, March. That will be 3 points against Burnley. So you do pro forma, sir. Liverpool haven't played. You assume they're going to win. It'd be really 34 and 30 points for United. That's a good distance for a Liverpool team that look very consistent. They look like they're not ailed by the problems that we have right now. And it is early, but good things for Manchester United here. I like looking at the table, especially when you see us that close to who.
It's going to be on us to keep winning. I mean, the only way we're going to be able to get away from the second pack of pretenders or whatever we call them is to keep up the consistent performances and keep winning. And there's a lot of games to go. And this side has got it. I think we gotta add. We gotta buy some players in January. It's unbelievable. This team is showing so much promise. You basically say we're 4 points off Liverpool, the leaders. Obviously, they'll probably win. I think they're playing West Brom tomorrow. But it's not in a bad position to be in. When we started this season, a lot of people were talking about Ole maybe losing his job. And at the end of the day, we're in Boxing Day, table day. And obviously, it would have been great to be at 29 points, 2 points off. But we're not. So we're still in it. We're in it.
No, let's just say we got our grievances out. And if anyone would have said, hey, by Boxing Day, this is how the table would look, would you take it? We'd all say, absolutely, we'll take this one. So let's just remember that. Slice of humble pie, sir. And Paul Scholes had a little bit to say after the match. Paul Scholes talks. We listen. United legend.
Still to come, plenty.
A fair result.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was the sherry left in your two veins from yesterday, but we almost came to blows at the beginning of the programme about whether either of these two can win the Premier League. That result, that performance, does it change your mind about Leicester or United's credentials?
No, I think both can, but Liverpool are going to be, with the injury they've had, being top of the table. Great result, as you say, for Liverpool. They're the team to beat, but there's no reason why Leicester City and Manchester United can't challenge. Leicester City above Manchester United, but according to Scholes, they can't win it.
What did you make of Leicester today?
You've got a game in hand, you forgot that.
All right, I'm saying. I think Scholes is spot on. The save from Kasper Schmeichel from Rashford is an incredible save. The strong right hand, the power. Right, we heard it, didn't we, Scholes? The way when it hit Schmeichel's hand, I thought United had the better chances. I think United could have won the game.
Paul? Yeah, as I said before, I thought both teams could probably win the game, but United had the better chances. A few difficult moments for United. I think at Lindelof at right back, I don't think we'll see it again. I hope we don't see it again. There has to be a better option than that. I thought Tuanzebe was excellent when he came on, because Harvey Barnes was a real threat down that side. I thought he was excellent. I thought Tielemans was good. And United really, I thought they were better once they made the subs. I think they left the best players on the bench. I thought when Cavani came on, he was excellent. Pogba made a big difference as well. I think Greenwood on the bench, he didn't come on. But I don't think United are in a position to really leave these types of players out. If they're going to challenge for a league, I think they've got 12, 13, possibly 14 players who can do that. So when you're leaving these better players out, it worries me.
So many games, though, it's hard, isn't it? The games are relentless.
Well, so what? You play games. The best teams, you play the same team. I think of Pep's Barcelona team. He never made changes. He never left players out. They play 60 games a season. That's what you want.
There you go. Let's get some Leicester reactions.
Hey, look, Paul Scholes, you play to win the game. I do agree. You see Paul Pogba when he came on. You see United, how when we adjusted, we looked better. It's almost like you maybe rotate Wolves. Wolves kind of on inconsistent form. Leicester City, second place. Maybe you need the big guns.
Our players take our chances. No one's complaining, right? You play Dan James. You play buy-in and you get the result, no one's going to question the manager. I think you bring him in, and that's what's you're going to need to maybe like cause a catalyst, change the game, turn the tide. But I don't fault Ole for starting the players he did, because we could have very easily won this game in the first half if we took our chances.
Sir, going into the game, I said 1-1 draw. If you said we draw, I don't think a lot of people would complain.
No.
So let's just say, look, let's bury it behind us. We're not going to remember this one if we end up winning the title. 2-2 Leicester City, bury that one. And we got a next match, sir. It's all about the next 3 points. We can't complain too long. Manchester United versus Wolves, Old Trafford, coming back home. We know we're good away. We've been better at home recently, sir. Tuesday, December 29th, noon Pacific. Love that kickoff. 3 p.m. Eastern. Versus Wolves, lifetime, we've won 49, drawn 20, and lost 36. First time we played, October 15th, 1892. Newton Heath versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Beat them 10-1 in the first division, sir.
That
big win led to good things at Manchester United. Love battering Wolves, sir. We've been doing it since 1892.
Wolves famously was Bruno Fernandes's first match as a Manchester United player. They're a tough team. I think they're not doing terrific this year compared to last year, but they're always tough. They got a bunch of good players. Jimenez is out. He's their target man, who's obviously injured. But Neto is a player, and they got a bunch of really good midfielders. So should be a hell of a match, sir. It's relentless.
Last 5 for Wolves. Little inconsistency here. Beat Arsenal 2-1. That's not saying a lot these days. 4-0 battered by Liverpool. I mean, the team who should not be named. Then Wolves lost to Villa. A bunch of red cards in that match, though. And they beat Chelsea 2-1. And then got beat by Burnley. So you're kind of seeing this team up and down. They play Tottenham tomorrow, but you know they show up against United. That's the whole thing. When you see a team like Wolves, you're like, oh, they lost to Burnley. Oh, they got smoked by Liverpool. They always, the team like this, they might lie down for the Scouse Bastards, but they'll show up for Manchester United like they always do, sir.
But they're also just like Leicester. I mean, they're probably not as good of a team and consistent, but if you don't take your chances and if you give sloppy defending, they will punish you all day because they have the players to do so. So we need to be checked on. This is like a big game, and it's a big 3 points because you got to keep chopping up that table, baby.
Little history about Wolves. They were formed as St. Luke's FC in 1877. Little history in 1877. Chester Greenwood patented earmuffs. So Wolves shall be known as Earmuffs FC here from now on. The club has played at the Molineux Stadium since 1889 and has been competing in the Premier League, the top division, since winning promotion in 2018. In the 2021 season, it's the club's 66th season at the top flight. A lot of history with Wolves. They were in the top flight a lot earlier in the founding of the league, and because the club was one of the founding members of the Football League in 1888. Obviously, we played them. We were in Newton Heath. And they've been the English League Cup champions 3 times, 53, 54, 57, 58, 58, 59, all under the management of Stan Cullis. And after becoming one of the first British clubs to install floodlights, Wolves arranged television floodlit friendlies against overseas clubs in between 53 and 56. And this was instrumental in the launch of the European Cup, which would now be known as the Champions League. So when Wolves was firing in the 50s, they got the floodlights, started doing all these friendlies with top European sides. And lo and behold, Wolves was part of the founding of the Champions League. They did do well early in the competition. There are long-standing rivalries exist with other West Midlands clubs, the main one being Black Country Derby, contested with West Brom, Albion. The two clubs have not met since 2011, 2012, but they're set to play this year. So if you're really interested in some derbies, the Black Country Derby will be played this year for the first time in almost 10 years, sir.
Sort of the Midlands. Sounds like something out of
West of Midlands.
Sounds like something
Game of Thrones,
out of Tolkien, right? Going to be a hard match. Old English football. Can't wait for it. Whew, sir, what's Physio Room looking like? It's getting longer. That list is getting longer.
Isn't it Portuguese football, sir? Not old English football here?
It might be.
Yeah. Physioroom.com. Rojo out. Wambasaka, undisclosed. Lindelof, knock. James, knock. Phil Jones. And there's no return date on any of these players. A lot of clouds around players and injuries, sir. Given that is the injury list, what is your lineup?
This is who I got. It's going to be Dino back in net. And we're going to have a back four of Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Telles. Midfield of Matic, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and then a front three of Mason Greenwood, Edison Cavani, and Tony Martial came from France.
All right, I'm going to say world number 2, Hendo in net. I want to see Brandon Williams at right back. He's a right back, naturally plays right back. I want to see him there. I want to see Tuanzebe Maguire center back pairing. Need to see more of that. Shaw on the left played lights out. Matic, Pogba, the midfield 2, Bruno, then Martial on the left, Cavani at number 9, and Mata on the right. Ooh, Mata tucking in with Bruno.
Like
I think you're going to need to be able to play the ball, hold the ball against, we all know how Wolves play. I like that idea. Ole probably will not play this way, but, shout out to B-Dubs. You got to play Brandon Williams if you have him, right? I mean, Lindelof at right back, it's just not doing it.
You're stretching our center backs. That's the problem, right? You expose him playing right back. We don't have that many options if he goes down.
Yeah, Brandon Williams is good. He's good defending. He's good going forward. I just don't know why we're not playing him. Booking the bookies, Ole knows more than me. He sees the training, so, credit to him. Booking the bookies here, sir. The odds, Manchester United, heavy favorites. Heavy favorites. Minus 175 to win. The draw plus 300. Wolves plus 500 to win.
Wow.
Sir, given those are the odds, United heavy favorites. A lot of injuries at the back. Let's see the odds on the clean sheet. Who do you got? What is your score?
I do think United shut it down in the park. I'm going to call 2-0. Not close.
So you
not far.
Bet that scoreline.
You got it, bro.
Bet 2-0. Look, sir, I hate to say it again. Injuries to the defense, the way we've been defending, the tight turnaround. Bruno's already haggard. He's going to get minutes again. I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say another draw. It's going to be a tough, hard-fought match. I think we're good to leak a goal. And look, if Rashford, if Martial and Cavani can surprise me on scoring more, then we'll win. And I just really think I'm worried about the leaky defense. I know we can score, but I just don't think we're going to be able to defend enough to win. I think right now it's defend to win. I don't know if we have it, especially with injuries.
No, this team always has goals in it, but it's giving away these shit goals that we used to. It seemed like we were getting that under control, right? As we've regained form the last 10 games and put a run together. It's the defense that seems like it's holding it steady, but now over the last couple of matches, it seems to be crumbling a bit.
Sir, United in the news. A lot of news here. Manchester United want to trigger 1-year contract extension with who? Jesse Lingard. His deal expires at the end of the year. We've heard loan rumors with him. For some reason, United do not want to lose Lingard on a free transfer. This seems like Ed Woodward, transfer genius here, at it again. Going to give Jesse a year extension so we can sell him for not a lot of money, sir. What do you make of this transfer business?
I mean, I think you summed it up. Ed Woodward special sounds about right. It's like, I guess, so maybe you can maintain a resale value of what, like £7 million, £8 million? He's not going to be contributing for the team. Mata and Donny Van de Beek are fighting for minutes, so... Who's in charge? Who's in charge of this club, bro?
Director of football, please?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like Garrett Lingard 2 years ago. Next bit of news here. Manchester United have been priced out of move for David Alaba. We talked about all the reasons why we couldn't sign him on the last pod. Now we're out of it. Apparently, the Daily Mail has said Real Madrid, they want to match the money. Apparently, Bayern Munich offered him £200,000 a week. Not enough for David Alaba. He wants more. Real Madrid look to be the leading horse. So, it was always a punt. Don't think we're going to pay up. Another Ed Woodward special.
You know who I take, though? I take Salty Ramos. I don't think he'd ever leave, but United could use a little Salty
rickety Ramos.
Yeah, exactly. He'd score a header or two. He'd score more headers than Maguire.
We'll tell you. He can score a header.
He can.
To be fair, yes.
He's as mean as they come, sir. He's salty as shit. Yeah, he's definitely over the hill.
Over the hill, sir. Weak knees.
I'll take him, sir. I'll take him.
You want your defenders young. United, and this one we didn't mention on the pod, but Manchester United, talk about Europa League, sir, hasn't really set in. But United are going to face the current La Liga leaders in the next round of the European competition, sir. Obviously, we're not playing that fine Champions League music, Europa League here. And it's going to take place Thursday, February 18th in, obviously, 2021. And the return leg will be at Old Trafford. So, look, it's a tough Real Sociedad side. And, it's almost a Champions League tie. this could be a blessing in disguise, sir. We could get knocked out and then focus completely on the league. How are you feeling about this draw? Another group of death type of draw, right?
No, we always get these like cheeky Spaniards in the first round or second round of the knockout. This is no different. This is a very solid team, probably one of the best teams left in the Europa League. So it's never going to be the easy way. If United are going to go on, win the Europa League, Jose, if he was manager, he would prioritize it because it is good silver to win. Whether Ole does, I think it'll be largely depend on where we are in the league. If we're like tooth and nail with Liverpool, that's one thing. If we're like 10 points out, then he'll probably prioritize it.
Dude, we never do it the easy way. I mean, you want to talk about Carabao Cup getting the City draw. I mean, I kind of want that. I mean, this is another draw where I want it as well. I'd rather play good sides. I think it's the famous Alex iron strength is iron quote here, where I'd rather be playing a good European side and getting some good experience for the lads. And also, next bit of news, not United related, kind of United related. Sorry, you put it in here.
I got it.
Pochettino signs with PSG. Alex dancing in the streets. Pochettino's not going to manage Manchester United. Tuchel got the axe, fairly or unfairly, but Pochettino looks to be taking over. Probably a good job for Pochettino. No.
Yeah, I'm not even going to get on that because that's not where the news starts. The news starts, this is actually good for Manchester United. I think this is good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Take some of that lift. Maybe some of it was from Woodward. Maybe some of it was from Pochettino's agents, hankering for a deal. But I think this just allows Ole to okay, there was a guy that was fighting for this job. Now he's found another job. Let's give Ole time to keep doing what he's been doing.
Absolutely. Let's jump into the fan questions. Thank you for all the tweets and hot banter here. We really appreciate it. At Briquette Mets, quote, unlucky to draw, but that's what happens when you give up cheap goals. 7 away games, 19 points. Keep up that form. We'll always be in with a chance for the league. No reason to overreact to one match. Let's take it to Wolves. Should have read this before we started the pod.
Seriously.
At Icy1, quote, I'll take the draw, but we still drop points due to a lack of defending. Also, do you think Dave Saves is feeling the pressure from Hendo more now? What do you make of that?
I don't know. How did Dave play today? He didn't have much to do.
Had his hand on the Barnes.
He had his hand on the Barnes goal, but that was a hell of a hit, so I don't really blame him. They weren't creating that much. There weren't that many saves for him to make, but competition's always good.
No, and I think I like the rotation. Always got it right. Hendo is good. I just think alone is probably the move. I guess I always thought De Gea has to be your guy this year. And if you can't do it this year, then you kind of you bring Hendo in. At Bohan Boy for Life, our boy Devin, quote, this draw honestly feels like a loss. Definitely had chances to put the game away, but did not take advantage of it. Still unbeaten away this season, so there is that. I mean, I think for fans, it's one of those Fergie United of old. We've seen the movie. United score. United always score. Sir, that's how it goes.
And they never do it the easy way. Even the treble, right? It's like we won the league.
Can Manchester United score? They always score.
Dude, we won the league on the last day of the season in 99. The FA Cup was not a gimme. And obviously everybody knows what happened in the Champions League after the 90th minute. So we need to regain that. Everyone, but the expectations are going up. That's good. All the fans, right? They want us to win that game because they know that United was capable of winning that game. A year or two ago, we'd be talking about hanging on, whether the boys didn't even show up for a whole half. It's just, things are changing.
Here we go. At Reds Pilot, everyone else okay with Ole smiling and hugging other managers when we lose or draw? Makes me sick. Don't think Sir Alex did that. He might invite him for a glass of wine after he beat him. What do you make? Ole Mr. Nice Guy, though. It's kind of his thing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see him doing that much smiling.
He's got a shtick.
He wasn't smiling when he did his interview. Whatever.
But you have to understand. You look at Mourinho and him getting salty and him and Klopp on the sideline, chirping each other. I do think, and also as fans, you let the results do the talking, I think, with Ole. And clearly, he doesn't want that result. Clearly, he's like, what the hell, Rashford? You should score that. But he's not going to say it. He's not going to show it. And I do like that he's a little calm at the helm of United when, everyone's freaking out so much because the worldwide fan base, everyone's into United. So I do appreciate how he keeps it kind of, keeps it pretty even.
No, and you know what? It's I don't know. The whole Jurgen Klopp shtick of freaking out like you're on PCP.
Exactly, yeah.
It's that's a bad look. And you know what? Mourinho was right. He's they used to give me cards for that, and no one condemns Klopp because he wins. But that's a bad look.
Sir, it's the way it is, sir. It's the way it's in the press. It's why they write bad articles about Rashford. It's why they always come for United. It's why, it's for some reason in England, it's like people either like you or they don't, and it's always going to be that way. And you can't get in between. So the press always hates Mourinho. They're never going to like Mourinho. They'll always love Klopp, and they will always love Klopp. And then there's nothing you can do about it. You don't know why. I couldn't tell you, but it's just something in England that happens where you're anointed like as soon as you come in, and that's that.
Hated, adored, never ignored.
And Sir Alex was that. He was anointed as like everyone liked him. Everything he touched turned to gold. And we know Rafa Benitez, facts. Everyone hated him. It's just it works for you, it works against you sometimes. And they all the pundits. It's one of those things. All the pundits slate Ole. All the pundits slate United. All of us say they're not good enough.
Arteta,
and then all of a sudden they're like eating their word. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, United are actually doing well. It's like it's crazy. The bias is just so strong. That's why we have this pod, because we gotta correct that bias or give that ultra biased fan take to try to clap back a little bit.
We gotta remind Manchester United fans and Premier League fans what this club's all about. That's why we gotta go for a title, sir. That's why the team has you gotta strengthen. You gotta strengthen, get into CDM, get into C-back, center back, sir. We gotta do it.
At Ty Kircher on Twitter, quote, 2 points, very dropped. Missed chances will do that. Heads up and keep pushing forward. That has got to be the attitude. At 2 Boatsman on Twitter, quote, classic picture. I remember the Bobby from Booty Saint in my Manchester City Center days. Hell yeah. Not exactly sure, but we'll go ahead. At Dave Paz, all caps, frustrated. I hear you, Dave. That's how I felt starting the pod, but hey, pod therapy, feel a lot better now.
Seriously.
At T Zolski on Twitter, quote, we must have thought Leicester City didn't get enough gifts yesterday. That's cheeky. Disappointed to not get the 3 points. Oh, well, we didn't lose, so take the point and move on. Hopes the Sirs had a great Christmas, sir. I did have a great Christmas. Went to bed a little early because of this early wake-up call. What about you? Have a good Christmas?
I was in bed by 8 p.m., but I had a great Christmas. I wish I had 3 points.
Yeah, I wish everyone had a good holiday. Great Christmas as well. At BryGuy666, Leicester are quality opposition, so I'll take the point, but the game was ours, so it does suck not grabbing 3 points. Tight turnaround too, so we can't forget about the tired legs. Lads got to work on finishing better when the chances are there, a.k.a. Bruno and Rashford header. Totally agree. Sir, that is the podcast. We really appreciate all the banner. Look, the pod never sleeps. We're getting everything in and out up at 4:30. Get the pod out, sir, by 8:30 a.m. Christmas was yesterday. Holy shit. I mean,
you moved in though.
Moving, leaky roof. We could have used 3 points. I'm going to say that's probably like, I needed this. It'd be great. The move, the Christmas, everything. And then, we got the draw, but heads up, sir. On to the next one. Look, if you want to support the American Red Devils, you like fan generated content, you can visit our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/AmericanRedDevils. You can support us there. There are no ads in this podcast. Just me and Alex pulling the strings on this audio equipment we barely know how to use. And if you don't want to support us at Patreon, grab some merch, a shirt, scarf, anything goes a long way. www.americanreddevils.com. We're going to be building out our inventory early next year as well. So get excited for that with our new badge logo. We'll have some shirts and stuff. And then drop a review on iTunes, sir. And check out our blog, www.americanreddevils.com. Great fan content. That's what this is all about. Let's get the fan take out there. We don't want to be biased Neil Ashton or nothing. It's like we need to be supporting this team, showing them the love, sir. What a hell of a season, though. I mean, we talk about Boxing Day, table day. Going out Champions League, the ups and the downs, 6-1 against Spurs, the lows there, like it's been up and down, everything in between, but we sit and we look at the table on Boxing Day, and I'm proud to be a United fan. I'm proud that these boys are fighting hard, and we just want that silverware, sir. It's just, as a United fan,
we want a chance at the silverware. We want a chance. I want to just be in a race, even if we don't win it.
I want to be in a race.
I want to be in a race.
I want to be in a race.
So we're in a race.
I want to be in a race.
We're on the edge of a race.
We haven't been in the race since we started this pod, sir.
No, we haven't.
So we have never been in no race.
No. We're in a race.
Speaking of races, top cities the last 7 days is a race for downloads, sir.
Number 1, how you doing? New York City. Number 2, Jersey City. Bella Vista, Arkansas. Truckee, California. Sir, keep us going.
Chicago, Illinois, Oslo, Norway. Shout out to Shire, Ole's hometown. Maybe not his hometown, but his home, Norway. Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, Chula Vista, California, Houston, Texas. Then we got Ireland on the board. We got the UK. A lot of Ireland, heavy Ireland. Shout out to Ireland. Have a dark ale for the Ireland fans, sir. That is the podcast. Ole was almost at the wheel.
Not quite.
He was almost at the wheel, but as always,
we're kicking a blue.